Well, hey there. So I recently had a game on Teamfight Tactics where I ended the game with 100 HP. So it was a very brutal match all the way up to the end to making sure that I kept a 100% win streak. But because it's a cool, fun match to watch, it's something that we played on stream, I wanted to go ahead and do a after-the-fact commentary on this game so I can kind of watch it with you and go over some of the decisions I'm making, some of the results that I'm having, and things that I'm looking forward to. So starting out here, obviously the first 3 rounds are really just about getting the items that you hope for. I started with the rory, which is going to be a 2 cost with the armor on it. This is a pretty easy choice because the GA is so popular right now. It works on so many units, and there's also a lot of AoE damage happening with Cho'Gath and all these other like big AoE teamfight units, that being able to come back to life after getting bursted down, or maybe you're running a Draven build and you just so happen to get the Phantom proc on your Draven at the beginning of the game. Having a Guardian Angel makes sure that you can actually recover from that situation and still fight without having to worry too much. So I got the armor first, and then I'm going to get the recurve bow, the Giant's Belt, and the tier. What I'm thinking here is, what I like to do in the first 3 rounds anyway, is am I going gunslingers, am I going rangers, or am I going something else? Because gunslingers and rangers both require very specific items, and a lot of them. And so I want to determine early in the beginning of this game, am I going either? So you can see right off the bat, I am looking for static shivs if I'm going to be going for rangers. So I do have one to start with here with the recurve bow and the tier. But I also got an armor, a belt, and a sword. And getting 5 items at the start of the game is incredibly lucky, and it started me off on a really good win streak because of that. So my role here, I'm thinking, am I going to go brawlers? I do have a Rek'Sai already, and then if I go into a void brawlers or even just a brawler build mid-game, it's really helpful to get that Rek'Sai, right? Because you're building up until the point that you get the Cho'Gath to get the brawler bonus. I do have the gunslinger bonus. I still have the Ahri with the armor on it, and the role that I got here is a bunch of 2 cost units and 3 cost units, and then a Fiora and a Mordekaiser, which neither of those are very valuable. And I would actually caution against running a lot of 2 or 3 cost units in the beginning of the game unless they blend into something, right? Poppy's a great pickup if you're running knights, because even at level 1, she's still very powerful. You can get characters like Lulu and Rek'Sai to get that brawler bonus. You can see I was waiting to sell the Nidalee until I won to get that brawler, right? Because then I wouldn't have to sell anything anyways. But either way, I still got the Rek'Sai. So I have a pair of Rek'Sai now. I've got the Ahri with the GA. I've got the Tristana with the static shiv, and I've got the gunslinger bonus. So at this point, I pretty much know that I'm not going to be going gunslinger because of the items I've combined here. If you're going gunslinger, you need a red buff right off the bat on the Tristana or on the Graves. The Graves is good because it does apply the dot to every unit around you, but the challenge is Graves does fall off a little bit in the mid game. He actually becomes pretty squishy and sometimes dies a little bit too often. So I do have this belt still, and I'm thinking, or at least I'm assuming I'm thinking that the belt plus a rod will give me a Morellos, right? Because that means I start the game off with having a Morellos and a GA, which is great for Ahri, it's great for Cho'Gath, really great early caster item starts. And then I had the static shiv as well, which is honestly generally always good in the beginning of the game. It is something that's required for ranger builds to work, to have a lot of these, otherwise they don't deal enough damage. But having the static shiv and the GA is very balanced, and then I'm going to try and get a rod when I get to the first carousel. Again, I didn't get anything that I liked in that role, so I went ahead and picked up both these Aatroxes on my bench just in case I go demons or if I transition into Blade Masters. I don't really have Blade Master items with the GA and the static shiv. The GA will help on something like a Draven, but you really need to have the RFC and the Bloodthirster. There's almost compulsory items. So I happened to get an Aatrox on my 3rd set, so I'm kind of glad that I bought that there. Obviously, it looks like gunslingers are going to fail, so I just got my 2nd Graves, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the static shiv onto the Aatrox, and then I spot the Varus for the demon bonus, which honestly works really well in small team sizes. I could have leveled here, but I think it's better just to get the demon bonus and the Aatrox with the static shiv. Now, if you look at this, right, I have the GI on the Ahri. If I was going to get a really good Ahri start, I would need a Warwick plus the Ahri for the wild bonus. And then you'd look to get like a Morellos on her or something with mana, or even like a Luden's Echo on her early on. She's still level 2. I have not seen another one of her, and so I'm gonna wait until after this carousel. If I can get a rod, I might stick to her. But if she's just not showing up, then I have to deviate from that right now. The cool thing about the early stages of the game, everything before wolves, is you have to be super flexible. Every time you get a new spread of 5 units, you have to kind of rethink what your strategy is going to be, because you haven't solidified anything yet. You don't really have a mass of units that are going to make your build committed to something, right? So you want to be constantly rethinking, what do I have? What do I want? What's going to work? And so I know I'm last pick here because I'm still in first place. I'm on a win streak. What I love to do when I'm on carousels like this is I will just go around the board and check everything. And generally when I'm doing this, I like to think about, if I have a build in mind, let's make sure no one else is going that build. And if they are, find out how far along they are. Oh, that Ari looks so juicy. It looks so juicy. Can I get it? It's going towards him. I may not be able to get it, but hopefully I get that rod because I've seen the Morellos. Nice. Okay, cool. So I got 2 Aries now. I've got a GA on her already, and I have a belt waiting for her. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to go for like this wild Sork build or void Sork build, just using the Ari as a hyper carry with the rod on top of her. Because I don't have that second one yet, or that third one yet, the items are separate. So I'm going to kind of wait it out. I'm just selling the Graves mainly because I know I'm just not going gunslingers at this point. And, ooh, okay. So I decided that it wasn't worth having the level 1 Ari. And then since Ari's a 1 cost, okay, so I just go ahead and kill her entirely, and now I'm just beefing out this Aatrox. So what's cool about having a 3 cost unit at level 2 this early on in the game is you know it's going to be really effective. So I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and make a beast out of him. Sold off the gunslingers because that's a dead route. I saw 1 or 2 of the people going gunslinger, and I wasn't getting items for it anyway, so I went ahead and skipped on that. And then I went ahead and just put a Braum up front. Anytime in the early game you're stuck, putting a Braum up front in the right position can save you a lot, because not only does it block incoming damage, but it blocks projectiles. So if an Ash arrow comes your way, he'll stop it, things like that. It's really useful to keep you alive, even if he's just 1 star in the beginning. And I grabbed the Warwick here just because it could end up becoming a brawler build. I can move those items, you know, the GA and the Morellos over to a Cho'Gath really easily. So I'm just gonna grab that in case it's brawlers. And I have the Vhagar because there might be a sort transition here, especially if I can get a Yumi's, but I'm just grabbing useful units because I'm not over that threshold yet. So there's the Rengar. There's 2 Veins. I do have 1 static Shiv, so I could still go Rangers if I wanted. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. That does give me double Ranger bonus with the Varus, and because I had a duplicate of the Aatrox, I went ahead and got rid of that as well. So I have the Rek'Sai out there. She's just soaking damage and tanking. Braum's doing the same thing. I have the Demon bonus to drain mana, and then I have the Aatrox, which is beefed out of this world. These are really, really great items to pick up here. And I think a lot of this, partially because that second carousel, I think leaving a rod available there was a tough decision for the people I'm up against. But you can see that level 2 Aatrox with the Morellos, with the GA, with the static Shiv, I mean, this guy is just going to win for the next 5 to 8 rounds, right? Like, it's really hard to deal with this. He's now doing 600 damage in AoE. He's a big boy. The Lucian's a gunslinger. I'm not going to need it. The Rengar could be a jungle void later, but right now I do have my hyper carry, and the hyper carry is a 3 cost, right? So I've sunk 12 gold into the 4 Aatroxes that I have. It's a lot of money, so I don't really want to overinvest. So there's an Ash. I'll probably pick up that Ash and just hold on to it because I'm not at the 20 gold mark right now. Just because it's really good. I'm considering the demon bonus for the Elise. This can work sometimes depending on the lobby you're in. If you're running up against a lot of sorcerers or shapeshifters, even just getting the Elise in for 4 or 6 demons is enough to shut that down. Elise as a unit still is not that good. We're hoping to see a buff later this week for her and then a couple other units, but as of right now, she's still kind of weak. Then I pick up the Ash just because Ash is the linchpin unit of Rangers. If you don't have the Ash, you can't really run Rangers. And so anytime I have extra gold, meaning I'm still over a 10 gold threshold, and I see a unit that's a linchpin, I almost always will grab it, right? I'm buying down to 10 gold right now because I'm not going to lose anything for it. And looks like I got an armor. So this could become another GA. Running 2 or 3 GAs is perfectly fine. And in fact, most of the time is really good because you can put one on your caster like an Ari or a Asol, and you can put on your Aatrox to keep him alive. So I went and got the Vayne. Anytime you have a 1 cost unit, buying up to 2-star is fine because you don't lose any money. It's 3 gold to make it and 3 gold to sell it. So it's always safe to combine a 1-cost unit. So then I'm going to go ahead and keep the ranger bonus. The veins up there. Oh, no, I decided for brawlers. Brawler's Glacial. Okay, so the Brawl 1 was enough, but getting the Volibear in there means that Rek'Sai's going to have more HP. And again, Rek'Sai, and it's more likely that she's going to burrow underground and heal up. My Ashe is going to get pulled here. My Ashe, no. So Aatrox is really well positioned here, so he's actually going to dunk on 2 of these, looks like. Yep. Really good damage there. There's the Rek'Sai staying alive because of the extra bonus. And then Ashe and Volibear had the stun for the 2 Glacial. Huge arrow coming out from her as well. And looks like we actually almost lost that one. That was close. Okay, and I don't really need the Kha'Zix because as of right now, it doesn't look like I'm going Void Brawler. I grabbed the Gangplank just in case I end up transitioning into Blade Masters. You sometimes will just hit a Draven and you get your Guardian bonus, and then you have a couple of things to protect it, and you're just good to go. I still have the Static Shiv. I don't really have any items for the Blade Master build, but I do have the Aatrox as a Blade Master, so that actually I could put out the Draven with no items, and that would give me the bonus. So I got another Vayne here. I don't really need her. I'm not going Void. I'm not going Shapeshifters. The Knight won't do anything for me, and so I decide, if I'm not going to be able to do anything with this, I'm going to go ahead and level up here. And just put out the extra unit. I was going to do the Braum, but I already have 2 Glacial, and I actually have a pretty beefy front line with 2 Brawlers and the Aatrox, and so I figured the level 2 Ashe was going to be, or level 2 Vayne was going to be enough to get that up a little bit. So I'm looking at 3-2 here. This one should be a pretty easy win for me. The Pyke is actually landing in the middle here, which is great, which means he's only going to stun my front line. And then the Kha'Zix came in on the Rangers, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill this Aatrox. He's just too stacked on that. If you're looking for good times to level up, I would actually recommend leveling up on 3-1, 4-1, and 5-1. This is something that if you're actually, oddly enough, so like in North America, it seems like North America and EU, a lot of the leveling up, it doesn't happen at 3-1. It usually happens at 3-5 right after the carousel, because then it's an only 8 gold. I've noticed that North American and European players are very cautious and very frugal with the money that they have. However, if you look at Korean gameplay, they actually level very aggressively. They want to shut down the bottom 2 or 3 people out of the match as fast as possible. They wanted to get them gone. So I got to get a level up here. I've got the 2 Brawlers. I'm still sticking with what I got. And then on my bench, I'm holding on to the Vaynes in case I could still actually transition into Rangers, because I have the Static Shiv, and I would just need to start getting items for Ashe to be able to get her like more Shojins, Rage Blades, get some Static Shivs as well. You want a good 2 to 3 Static Shivs to keep the Ranger bonus working, because they have a high chance to double their attack speed, and they just get up to 2.5. They start splashing everywhere. So that Glacial bonus, you can see, even having a level 1 Ashe and a level 1 Volibear has saved my butt several times here, right? Just getting that 1 proc stun, there it is, boom. Even though they're not dealing the most damage, they're still stunning and stun locking, and that CC helps my build go as well. So again, I'm here at 100, not gonna be able to pick on the carousel, so I spend this time to go ahead and look around, hopefully. Looks like I'm just gonna see if, like, I mean, realistically, the goal would be to get a BF sword to get another Guardian Angel with that armor I already have, but there's demons. This guy's going Rangers, so I gotta watch out for him. This guy's got assassins with brawlers. That looks like knight brawlers with void. He's got some weird noble build there. I went ahead and picked up the cannons because I didn't have the gold threshold, so I just grabbed them there. This is something you'll see me do a lot when I'm playing, to just kind of, again, if there's an opportunity to pick up a good unit that might make a build, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it as long as I don't lose an interest gold for grabbing it, and that way I have my bases checked. So I'm gonna come back here. I've got my item. It's going to be a BF sword, so I do get another GA. For now, I could put that on something. Looks like I'm considering putting the ASOL out. And I've got the Rangers on there. I just need a Kindred to finish it. But with the other GA, I'm not as stacked for it. I do have the 2 demon bonus, so I'm thinking that either I can go up to 4 demons. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So I go ahead and skipped up to 4 demons. These demons aren't that good. Evelyn 1, I personally don't have a great experience about putting her in at level 1, and we know Elise is crap. And so what I'm banking on here is the Ranger damage, and the fact that as I looked around, a lot of the people I'm going up against are sorcerer, elementalist, or they're getting a ranger bonus, right? And so if you can drain the mana of those kind of caster builds, or even here where I drain the mana of Ash, that extra demon bonus is plenty. It's actually a pretty big jump. And then going up to 6 demons, I believe it's 60% or 65% chance to drain all their mana. It's a lot. And you only need it to proc once, right? Like you only need it to proc once and it'll drain all of their mana away. So that's kind of the big benefit of doing it. Cho'Gath is here, which is a pretty big pickup. It's something that probably would be worth throwing in there. We've got the Draven, Varus. I picked up the Draven just because I do have the Aatrox. I already had the GP. I'm pretty much, yeah, I would go ahead and, I would get rid of the 2 demons and then put in the 2 Blade Masters here. Would probably be better than the 4 demons. Depends on who I going up against next. And you can see that I also made the GA for Evelyn because I know I'm going to sell her. I'm not going to keep her. And anytime you have a really good item that you're not sure who it's going to go on yet, it's always good to just go ahead and throw that on a unit that, you know, it's not going to make the final build, right? Evelyn, there's no way I put Evelyn in the final build unless I absolutely need that 6th demon. But even then, she'd have to be level 2, and you know, it's probably fine to go pick this up. So it looks like I'm pretty close here, but because of the double GA, the Rek'Sai moves up into, oh man, and the Evelyn finishes it off after I was just talking crap about her. That's too funny. Okay, so still holding on to my 100 win streak, and I'm over the max. So every round I'm getting 3 gold, which is basically having 30 gold total. And then the Yasuo shows up. Holy luck, man. This is pretty nuts. So I actually do have my Blade Masters now. You can see me considering it. I don't need the list because I'm not going for Elementalist. Generally, the only time you go Elementalist is if you need that front line, and I don't here. The lineup you're seeing for where I put the units for the wolves is my favorite. So watch when the wolves come out here. They'll land and only 3 of them can attack at once, which means 2 of the wolves will be AFK. This is something that I don't see people use enough, but put the wolves in a position where you're only fighting 3. Watch. They'll jump out and there's 2 in the back because they can't fit. So you basically created a front line on the left side of the map on the opposite side of the wolves that only fits 3 melee targets, and you now only have to face 3 wolves at a time and then 2 wolves after that, and you're good to go. So it's a very safe way. I've actually made it to wolves with all of my units being 1 cost because things just didn't work out, and with this strategy I'm still able to beat the wolves. Okay, so I killed the Evelyn, she's got to go, and I put the GA onto Yasuo. I've got my 3 Blade Master bonus, and I have a 4th Blade Master as well. And so realistically, yeah, okay, good. So I didn't need the extra Blade Master there, and then GP1's not going to do a whole lot. And so I have Draven by himself with the Blade Master bonus, a big fat Aatrox, a Rek'Sai for tanking, and then a Yasuo on the right side. I've decided to take this triangle pillar formation in the middle, and then I put the Yasuo on the right in case they're right there. They got him up on there, but looks like, let's see. Okay, so if that Cho'Gath ultimate was a little bit closer to my team, they may have been able to get this. No, never mind. The GAs are too good. So this guy's running like a TF build without a whole bunch of static shivs. You basically need TF to have a bunch of attack speed. He needs to have a bunch of attack speed. And I played super greedy here. You can see how I basically built up to 50 gold and have not been rolling. Mostly because I've kind of just been relying on the items that I've gotten so far and the units I've had. Outside of Yasuo and Aatrox, I haven't really had big, strong units. I've just been relying on that hyper carry, putting tanky units in front of them, and trying to get the best synergies I can. So I finished the Elise again, 1 cost. They don't cost you anything if they go up to tier 2. You can still sell them for full price. Veigar is not attractive because I'm not going Sorcerer. Zed generally is a bad unit, but even then I would grab them for Assassins. But even then, Assassins are really, really bad right now. Like, they just aren't really playable. And so I've got my 3 demon bonus. I'm not sure why I put I guess the least because she's tier 2 and you hope that, okay, no, here's what I did. I put the Elise out on the far left side, hoping that she does bonus damage. So this is something that happens in actually Dota auto chess a lot, but you try to get minion builds if you're far ahead, so you deal more damage to the enemy. So let's see if this actually works out. This is what I was thinking, is you make the spider spawn, and then if we can kill him without the spiders dying. Okay, yeah, so these spiders will deal extra damage to the unit. And so I'm basically abusing my lead. This is almost like in poker, where you have a bigger amount of money than the other person, and so you just bet their entire amount of money every time just to bully them out. That's what I'm doing here with the Elise. And this only works if you're far ahead or you're confident that you're going to be able to just hold on to your lead. So I throw the Elise out to deal as much damage to these people as possible. And it also helps to do that because you're able to get units back into the unit pool. And then I get a Kale here, which I should put out. I should swap on the demons for it. Oh, no, looks like I'm going to go for a 4 demon. So I guess I'm really in this game enjoying the fact that I'm getting a lot of mana draining on some of these units. I think now on 9.15, demons are actually very underrated, especially against these brawler builds like Cho'Gath and things like that. Being able to prevent units from casting is super valuable. The problem is there's just not a lot of really good demon units until you get Swain. Swain's kind of like the next big one. So good placement on the Aatrox. Looks like the Elise is in a spot again where she should be able to spawn the spiders without dying. Yep, so the spiders come out, we get the last hit, and then boom, the spiders will deal bonus damage to the target. Ooh, almost killed that guy off. So I got a crazy 13 win streak here, 53 gold in the bank. I've got a Kale. I'm still holding on to the Rangers. This is probably honestly a little bit too long to hold on to the Rangers. I'm just not 100% confident that I'll be able to switch to a Blade Master or a Demon build yet, right? Because if you're going to go Draven, you really want... Okay, let's see. Knights with a weird Katarina in the corner. This guy's going Demon Sorcerer, Ranger, Ninja. Okay. This guy's got Void Brawler. No, he's got Elementalist Brawler. This guy's got Assassins. This guy's got Knight, Brawler, Void. Actually, honestly, looking at most of these people, they don't really have good builds. There's maybe 1 or 2 of them that I'm scared of right now, but the majority of these, not super great. Okay, so there's my next demon. Picking up the Swain does allow me to go Shapeshifter if I'd like. And then I could do a big demon push as well. Getting a 6 demon could be pretty powerful. And he does have a... He has a Negatron, which I'm probably just going to turn that into a Dragon's Tooth. There's not really a whole lot of Negatron items for Swain that works well. You really want like a GA. Gunblade's really good because it heals him up. And then Dragon's Tooth I think is really good. So it looks like I'm going to try... I see the Darius, and now I'm trying for Imperial. So Imperial Blade Master. I can do three Blade Master into 4 Imperial. I just need a Katarina now. I can sell off the Rangers at this point. There's no need for me to hold on to them. I'm being a dum-dum. But hindsight's 2020. Static Ship still doing work there. The Aatrox might last longer than I intended. He does have the Morellos, which I would like to put on another unit, but as you can see, I have not really been getting the cookie cutter builds, right? I have not been able to get the Cho'Gath very much. Honestly, I haven't seen Kassadin. I've seen Kha'Zix to get the Void if I could, but I can move that over. Until I lose this win streak, there's no reason for me to really hard commit to a different build. So I'm gonna go ahead and level up here, and it's mostly because I'm trying to get more legendaries. And somehow I just got Swain. There's the Darius. Okay, so we're definitely looking for... We have the Katarina, we have the Darius. I might just swap the demons for the Imperial now, since it's both high level. Yeah, Rangers are gone for sure. That's a dead path. I should just put out... I should kill the Elise and the Evelyn for the Darius and the Katarina, and that would be way better. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I could have easily done that. I guess I was just too worried about my income. So I sold off all the Rangers, got rid of the things on the left side. I just have basically, at this point, I am now going Imperial Blade Master. And so I give this guidance a lot, but I recommend that you start to figure out what your late game build is around wolves. That's where mid game ends and you're starting to head into late game. And then right up until this point right now, and it should feel like that if you've been paying attention. When you hit Raptors is your all-in point for most players in EU and North America. Where you hit Raptors, if you don't have your build and you don't feel strong, you should go ahead and just roll down and just go all in until you get something. Am I going for 6 Blade Master? Come on, drybear. Just put in the Imperials. Drybear. Dry. Oh God. Nobody look. So I fixed the piece there on the right side for the Yasuo. And I'm also honestly at a point where the Spiderling punishment can probably stop. I guess once I lose my win streak, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and drop that down. Just because the spider damage is helping to kill people off right now, but at least just isn't providing a whole lot of damage for the build itself. Maybe I'm just waiting to get a Katarina 2 and a Darius 2. I don't think it's necessary because Swain and Draven are already 2-star, which is very rare. Okay, so I've got belt and I've got chain vest. I could do another GA, but I don't feel like I really need one. I could red buff on the Yasuo, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. We'll see. But red buff on Yasuo. So Yasuo's Tornado does on hit for basic attacks. Oh my god, 2 Yasuos. Jesus. This is why I got 100% in this game. Ridiculous. So Yasuo, if he has red buff, his Tornado will apply the red buff. Even if he has Morellonomicons, because it's like a spell that does on hit, it'll do the Morellonomicons as well. So you actually have really great time putting hushes, red buffs, cursed blades on Yasuo. And so now I have, I think I basically just won the game at this point. There's a good bit left. Obviously, there's only one person eliminated, but I think giving the Yasuo 2, the Swain 2, and the bonuses is working great. So I can probably go ahead and put that red buff on Yasuo. It gives him HP, it gives him armor, and then his Tornado will apply the debuff dot. I don't need the Sejuani because she's not going to fit. And I need to decide around now, since we got past Raptors, on whether I'm going to try for level 9 or not. And this is something you should think about anytime you get to a level break point is, if I know I'm not going to try for level 9, I would just go ahead and roll my money, right? Or just kind of keep my money low because I know I'm not. So it looks like I'm not going to try for it. I have 3 Blade Master, 4 Imperial, 4 Demon. So everything fits really well here. I basically just need a Katarina 2, a Darius 2. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can't buy him because there's no room. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it so I get that Darius. That's unfortunate. Draven 2 with the Imperial buff is enough to just deal crap tons of damage because he's doubling his damage. I don't need any items on him right now, and I honestly don't really have any items to give him other than maybe Static Shiv and a GA. But I like GA on Aatrox. I like GA on Yasuo. I guess I'm waiting until the carousel. Let's see what I would want. Because I have the... I could do a Morellonomicon for Swain. That could work pretty well. I could do off the belt, so I'd get a rod with the belt to get the Morellonomicon. I could do a GA, or I could do a Thorn Mail for Swain as well. Actually, you know what? I think the best for me right now would be to get a Negatron and put the Dragon's Tooth on Swain. That means that he's not going to get really killed by splash damage. Someone has to kind of focus him down. And unless they find him in a really bad spot, it's just not going to be... he's just going to be really hard to kill. Especially at level 2, which is very uncommon. So at least he's going to die. I'm just holding her there for the demon bonus. I have the Evelyn now, so I can go 4 demon or 6 demon if I want. But you can see there the Yasuo, the Swain, the Aatrox. Yeah, the Blade Masters are just getting crazy damage. Plus the Imperial bonus for Draven. And this is a Draven without any items, by the way. There's no items on this Draven whatsoever. And he's just stacking out damage. So I've got my win streak going, which means I can be really greedy with my money. I've got the Yasuo as an option, but I think... I mean, I'm going to have to go last here. Karthus is always a great choice here because Karthus can fit into most builds. He gives you the fan bonus with a Mordekaiser or with a Kindred, and that way you can get a free easy kill. He also does tons of damage. Spatula doesn't do anything for me here. I don't really... I can't do 4 Imperial, 6 Blade Master unless I get 2 of the items. So, okay, so what I talked about earlier is getting the Negatron. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I'm guessing I'm going to go ahead and put that Negatron onto Swain and make him magic immune with the... or close to it with the Dragon's Tooth. Let's see what we do. The other option, yeah, so the other option would be to do the Negatron plus the Giant's Belt. When you start getting close to Dragon and beyond, a Zephyr in the late stages of the game can be incredibly powerful, right? Because like if you look around and see where their builds are, and you figure out that they're doing a Hypercarry Draven or they're doing something else, then you go ahead and you can Zephyr that at the beginning of the fight, which helps a lot. So there we go. I figure I'm far enough away from the next carousel because Dragon's coming up. I'm not going to get any fundamental items anymore. It's going to be a completed item. So I'm really far away from that carousel. So just go ahead and give the red buff to Yasuo, which as you can see, just applied red buff to the entire enemy team and just murdered them because it does apply on hit effects. Pretty easy stuff. And at this point with Imperial, a 2-star Yasuo, a 2-star Swain, I can go ahead and, I mean, this game is looking pretty locked up. I think the only thing that would beat this is probably if someone had a Glacial Ranger build with a hypercarry Ash that had like 2 Shojins and a Rage Blade, or 3 static Shivs, or whatever. If they had a strong Glacial build with a Sedge, Guardians, and 4 Rangers, it would probably I would probably lose to it. Mostly because they would have lots of AoE CC, and the Blade Masters need a lot of uptime in order to take things down. The Katarina is kind of just there. She's not really doing a whole lot. And I can pull out that... I honestly should be swapping Evelyn for that damn Elise. I don't know why Elise is still in there. Maybe it's just like insult to injury? Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Who knows what was going through my mind? So the GAs there, of course, super valuable. This is why GAs are so sought after in the current meta. There's an Evelyn, a Brand, a Misfortune, and I get a Redemption here. So there's a couple ways to use Redemption. The reason Redemption isn't a very popular item is because if there's a red buff or there's a Morellos, which every game has Morellos these days, the Redemption will do nothing, right? And you don't really want to kind of build up all the way up to a Redemption and then have that do absolutely nothing. So you're kind of screwed. So I'm watching to see what everyone got. He got a Ludens, he got a Frozen Mallet. He's not running Glacial, thankfully. He's doing Knight, so it's not going to be too bad. Now, the dragon positioning is actually... there's a lot of depth to it. So you see how I actually took a lot of damage there on the Draven when I shouldn't have. I'm able to get the Redemption there, but you turn the dragon a certain way, but you can think of dragon fight in a bunch of different quadrants, right? Because if you put a bunch of assassins down that jump behind the dragon kills your first frontliner and then turns around and then fights the assassins. You can do all sorts of things with moving that there. I'm gonna try for 6 Blade Master. I mean, I can't do it without losing Imperial, so I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I try to go back to Demon. I was there trying to think through if I could do the Blade Master thing, but clearly I couldn't. And I just ruined both my Yasuos with one move. So it's gonna suck, but actually if I get a really good Tornado here, they're gonna move off. Nice interruption on the Karthus. This was actually pretty sloppy. I could have lost this round. Mostly because I didn't get the double shields up on my Yasuos, and I didn't get any actual kind of bonus damage here. So I think I'm actually learning more by watching this with you guys than you may be learning from me. Please move that Yasuo, Drybear. You're making me, you're losing. Yep, okay. So I'm gonna keep the 4 demon bonus. I'm gonna try to go for 6. I pulled the extra, actually GP would be better than Elise here. Ooh, I could go for the Draven. Finally got the cat. Huge move there. Okay, so we're set up. It's 1v1. I have the Imperial Blade Master. I don't know why I keep putting this Elise out. So I've got the Gangplank. I should put the Gangplank out for the Elise. Gangplank 2 can actually deal a good amount of damage. If I get 2 more for the Aatrox 3, then I'll have that. Oh, this guy's running Misfortune too. Chat, Dry Cubs, Friendos, please don't run Misfortune. She is the worst 5 cost in the game. There's the Draven. I don't think I can afford getting closer to it. I'm basically just looking for Aatroxes, right? Or I can get a Yasuo too. Oh. That level 1 Morg might be better. No, not better than the Elise 2. So I could get another Yasuo and put the Yasuo out. Because it looks like the other person just isn't. They're just not going for it. I pull... So there's that. I got the Dragon's Tooth is there. This guy has a Cho. So he's doing a Gunslinger build late game. Okay. Yep. There's the Redemption coming out, which actually did heal this time. Nice. Evelyn did a ton of damage there. And this is why Misfortune is so rough. Misfortune is kind of like a Varus, where the arrow can just run into something and not get the right kills or just angle really weird. But my gosh. That was a crazy game. 100% HP the whole time through. I think part of that was just the drops that I got. And a little bit of the choices of the other players in the lobby, because Gunslinger's there just doesn't work. But this is a kind of a different style of content. I'm actually enjoying doing this for myself because I get to watch my own mistakes and kind of go through my own gameplay and figure things out along the way. But also it's kind of like a very natural live way for me and you to interact, and also for me to kind of just impart wisdom as I see it on the screen without having to worry about playing it myself. So a new style of content here for Teamfight Tactics. Please let me know if you enjoyed it, if you'd like to see more of these. Basically, post-game analysis commentaries in the future. If it's helpful for you, please let me know. And of course, be sure to subscribe, like, comment down below. Check me out on Instagram and on Twitch, and I'll see you guys in the next one.